Contact is really the moment of truth in the baseball swing. This is where we'll see how well we have executed the principles earlier in our swing. Up here on the left we have Ivan Rodriguez, who will be hitting a line drive back up the middle. And on the right we'll have Manny Ramirez pulling a ball down the left field line for a home run. You will see that the principles are the same for both at contact. If we move forward, you will see a smooth adjustment to the pitch and an effortless release of the angle of the bat into the ball at contact. This is what we mean by an efficient swing. If we back up to contact, you will see that their wrists are straight and that they're in a palm up, palm down position. So they are able to release the head of the bat like they would the head of a hammer into a nail and deliver as much force as they can into the ball. It's also important at this point to see that the knocking knuckles are approximately lined up. It's not important how we start in our stance, but how we arrive at contact. If you've ever heard that funny noise at contact, that clacking noise, that's often caused by a weak position in the hands or a rolling over of the hands at contact. I also want you to notice the sloping of the shoulders and the space that it creates between the elbows. Connected arms can only swing down the line of the shoulders, and the sloping we see here is allowing the hitter to swing his arms and bat along the plane of the pitch, or what we call hitting in a big zone. If we swing with level shoulders, we will be forced to swing across the plane of the pitch or hit in a very small zone. You will also notice how the elbows are bent at contact, not straight, and that the front elbow is above the hands and the hands are above the barrel. If we go back just a few frames to connection, we can see how important it is to keep the elbow above the hands and the hands above the flight of the pitch so that we can release the barrel of the bat underneath our hands and down the line of the pitch. The principles we see at contact are a result of how well we have executed the principles earlier in the swing. Very rarely do flaws show up for the first time at contact. Most of the time they are a result or a consequence of something missing or something that went wrong much earlier in the swing. If you see a flaw here at contact, the first thing to do is to go back through the positions looking for one of the principles missing in your swing. The chances are if you fix that problem, it will fix your problem at contact. Remember, the first thing that goes wrong will typically show up in the rest of your swing. In this example, we will give you a few more principles to look for at contact. On the left we have Edgar Martinez, and on the right we have Luis Gonzalez. The first thing we want to look for is to see that our weight has been transferred into a firm front side, and that the rotation of our hips is taking the bend out of that front knee. The other thing we want to look for is to see that we are in a dynamically balanced position, where our shoulder, our hips, and our knee are all lining up. This just means that our upper body and our lower body are working well together, or working efficiently. We also want to see that our head and eyes are in a position to track the ball all the way into the strike zone, like Luis Gonzalez and Edgar here. And the final aspect we want to look at is the contact itself. You can see that both these players are making contact on the sweet spot of the bat, well out in front of their body, where they will have their greatest bat speed. Edgar's hitting the ball a little bit further back and driving a home run to the opposite field, where Luis Gonzalez is catching it well out in front and pulling it down the right field line for a home run. Extension is the position where both arms straighten or reach their fullest extension out towards the field. Extension should occur after contact, and ideally both arms and the bat should be pointing out towards the center of the field. We look at extension because it provides a good indication of how long the bat stayed through the plane of the pitch, or how well we have swung the bat down the line of the pitch. Even if we are pulling the ball or hitting an inside pitch, we want our arms to extend out through the ball. If a hitter is extending down the foul line or towards the dugout, this is a good indication that he is hitting in a small zone or swinging across the plane of the pitch. Here's a great example of our major leaguers hitting both an inside pitch and an outside pitch and extending out through the ball. On the left, you're going to see Manny Ramirez hit an inside pitch for a home run and pull it down the left field line. But you'll notice at extension how his arms and bat are extended out through the center of the field. And if we look over on the right-hand side, you'll see Hank Blaylock making contact on a pitch on the outside part of the plate and driving a home run to center field and reaching extension out through the center of the field. The finish is the final part of our swing. From extension and through the finish is where you'll see the hands start to roll over and the arms and the bat start to slow down. You'll also see the body seek balance and the weight shift back towards the middle. Again, the finish should be a smooth, fluid deceleration of the arms and the bat. You'll notice at this point that some hitters will let go and some hitters will hold on. It really doesn't matter at this point because it is well after contact and has no influence on how well we hit the ball. It really is a matter of preference or style. The hitters that finish with a straight front arm like Alex Rodriguez typically will let go, and the ones that allow their elbow to fold back towards their body like Vladimir Guerrero will typically hold on. We look at the finish because it gives us a good indication of the path of the bat throughout the strike zone. Our finish should be at about shoulder height or above, depending on the location of the pitch. Being the lower the pitch, the higher the finish, and the higher the pitch, the lower the finish. The only reason we talk to hitters about the finish is to help them understand and visualize the overall plane of the bat throughout the strike zone, and to stress the importance of getting on the plane of the pitch early and staying through it so they can optimize their chances of making solid contact with the ball.